December 1966. While the world watched Vietnam burn and the Beatles went psychedelic, a film opened in Italy that would quietly detonate a revolution in cinema. It had no heroes, no clear villains, just three greedy, desperate men chasing a fortune in a war-torn wasteland. And in that chaos, cinema found its new language. This is the story of the good, the bad, and the ugly. The film that killed the Hollywood Western and gave it immortality. I'm Your Name, and this is Buzz of Legends, where we uncover the truth behind the myths that shaped our world. By 1965, Sergio Leone had already shocked Europe with two low-budget westerns starring an unknown American named Clint Eastwood. But he wasn't satisfied. "I wanted to make a western about the Civil War," he said. "Not as history, but as hell on earth." He called it Il Buono, Il Brutto, Il Cattivo, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Not a sequel. A symphony of greed, violence, and absurdity. Budget? $1.2 million, triple his last film. Shooting in Spain and Italy for 6 brutal months. And this time, he needed a new kind of villain, and a new kind of chaos. Enter Eli Wallach, Broadway legend, method actor, and the only man wild enough to play Tuco, a bandit who lies, prays, and shoots in the same breath. Clint Eastwood returned as Blondie, now leaner, quieter, almost ghost-like. He barely spoke 50 lines, but every glance said, "I've seen too much." Lee Van Cleef, once a Hollywood henchman, became Angel Eyes, a mercenary so cold he kills for a handshake. And Eli Wallach? He turned Tuco into one of cinema's greatest anti-heroes. Loud, cowardly, brilliant, and strangely human. Eastwood and Wallach clashed at first. Eastwood's silence versus Wallach's energy. But that tension bled into the film. Their love-hate partnership felt real, because it was. Unlike any Western before, the good, the bad, and the ugly is set during the American Civil War. Not as glory, but as grotesque farce. Soldiers die for a bridge that means nothing. Hospitals overflow with boys missing limbs. And our heroes? They loot corpses and sell rifles to both sides. Leone had lived through War II in Rome. He knew war wasn't noble. It was absurd, wasteful, and dehumanizing. That line wasn't in the script. Eastwood added it, and it became the film's moral core. If Leone painted with light, Ennio Morricone composed with silence, noise, and soul. For the good, the bad, and the ugly, he created 3 musical identities. Blondie, the lone coyote whistle. Angel Eyes, ominous choir and pounding drums. Tuco, frantic flute and chaotic rhythms. But the crown jewel? The ecstasy of gold. As Tuco runs through the cemetery, desperate, breathless, half-mad, Morricone's music doesn't just accompany the scene, it becomes his panic, his hope, his damnation. Hollywood called it weird. Today it's sacred. No dialogue, no cuts for 3 minutes. Just 3 men, 3 guns, 1 grave. The final showdown in Sad Hill Cemetery isn't just a climax. It is a meditation on fate, ego, and the randomness of survival. Leone used 27 camera setups for this scene. He filmed the eyes separately, the hands separately, then stitched them into unbearable tension. And the twist? The good wins. Not because he's better, but because he cheated. He hid his gun in the coffin. There's no honor here, just luck. In 1967, the U.S. release was butchered, cut to 141 minutes, dubbed poorly, dismissed as violent trash. But by the 1970s, midnight screenings turned it into a cult phenomenon. By the 1980s, critics called it a masterpiece. Today, it's ranked among the greatest films ever made. There are 5 on Empire's list, preserved in the U.S. National Film Registry. And for Clint Eastwood, this was his farewell to the man with no name. He walked away from westerns. only to return 27 years later with Unforgiven, a film that asks, what if that man lived to regret everything? The good, the bad, and the ugly isn't just a Western. It's a warning that greed blinds, war degrades, and legends are often just men with guns and luck. But it's also a celebration of cinema's power to turn dust, sweat, and music into myth. If this deep dive into one of film's greatest epics moved you, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more from Buzz of Legends. Next time, Once Upon a Time in the West, Leone's final Western, and his love letter to a dying genre. Until then, remember, when you stare into the abyss, make sure you've got the drop on it.